The newspaper industry has been part of the American culture from its earliest beginnings. It was toward the end of the 19th century, however, when the industry grew to such proportions that newspapers became part of everyday life. One reason for this growth was the development of the first linotype printing machine in the mid-1880s. This machine set up typesetting, allowing for the automatic casting of whole lines of type. Improvements continued over the next several decades so that printing was not only faster but cheaper, making it possible for even lower-class citizens to purchase a paper on occasion. These improvements led to tremendous competition between newspaper companies for readers. To meet this competition, many publishers, like Joseph Pulitzer and William Randolph Hearst, frequently printed scandalous or sensational stories to lure readers. They even began to print drawings and comic strips to reach a broader audience. These strategies worked immediately, and many papers across the nation followed the example. Many began to label these types of papers yellow journalism after a popular comic strip in Hearst's papers known as the Yellow Kid.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
By the 1920s, there were more than 2,500 daily newspapers in the United States, with most major cities and large towns having at least two. But the decade of the 1920s would be the beginning of the long decline for the popularity of newspapers. Competition from other new media would start to erode the newspaper's place in American life. The radio was the first major blow to the hegemony of the paper empire. By the end of the 1920s, more than 10 million Americans owned radios, and that number was only destined to grow. Nevertheless, the newspaper industry had quite a heyday, and its place in American history is secure.